How's it going, everyone? My name is RJ, and here with me today I got the new iPhone 13 Pro in the matte black color. Well, sort of. This is a dummy model of the iPhone 13 Pro sent over to me by Casetify. Casetify is a channel sponsor and they make cases for iPhones and other Android OEMs, so they pretty much have to make an accurate dummy model for the upcoming iPhone 13 cases. By now, we pretty much know all the new added features and physical differences between the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro. So today I thought let's compare the physical differences between these two iPhones and dive a bit into the new features we are expecting on the new iPhone 13 Pro. Just an FYI, I will be picking up all the new iPhone 13 variants for review purposes once they release. So if this is your first time on the channel and you want to stay tuned for more iPhone 13 content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you find value in this video, drop a like and let's get this video started. This dummy model of the iPhone 13 Pro is about what I would say 95% accurate in terms of design language. The thing is, the housing of the front-facing camera looks pretty off to me. We are expecting a smaller notch this year, and I believe the placement of the front-facing camera will be a little bit smaller and a little bit towards the left within the notch. So don't expect a big selfie camera like this on the iPhone 13 Pro. Speaking of the notch, of course you can't see it on the dummy model, but you can see that the top earpiece is a little bit higher this year than before. This could be because since Apple decided to make the notch smaller this year, they had to make this necessary shift upwards. Also, it looks like we will not be getting Touch ID on the iPhone 13 Pro. We already knew that Touch ID would be a stretch, but Jon Prosser just confirmed that Apple is testing new Face ID hardware that could allow users to unlock their phones while wearing a mask or foggy glasses. Furthermore, this does reinstate the fact that we will not be seeing Touch ID on the iPhone 13 this year. But I also believe that this is a strong indicator that we won't be seeing Touch ID on the iPhone 14 either. It's very uncharacteristic of Apple to give us options. So an iPhone with both Face ID and Touch ID for biometrics sounds highly unlikely to me, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I personally use a lot of Android devices, and I believe Touch ID is the better and the more convenient method of biometric authentication. But we'll see what Apple does. It should be an interesting development going forward, so we'll see. Physically holding this dummy model in my hands, it feels a lot like the iPhone 12 Pro in terms of size and dimensions. Just a quick side note, for a dummy model, this thing does have some good weight to it. It's kind of funny. Moving on, this year the iPhone 13 Pro is supposed to be 0.26 millimeters thicker than the iPhone 12 Pro, but that's a very negligible difference that's barely noticeable to the human eye. This is the matte black variant of the iPhone 13 Pro, and it doesn't really look matte black to me in person. Sure, it's a shade of black, but definitely on the lighter side of things. It does sort of give off a gray vibe, and once again, I'm not sure if this color is accurate because of course this is the dummy model. For myself personally, I wanted a matte black color that resembles something like the phantom black color you see on Samsung flagships. Matte black was one of the rumored colors along with the new bronze/orange color, which looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. I'm still not sure what color to go with, so let me know down in the comments below what color iPhone 13 Pro you would like to see on the channel. Over on the back though is where we see a significant difference between the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro. The rear camera is a lot bigger on the iPhone 13 Pro, and this is because this year we are expecting bigger sensors, which looks like has resulted in a larger camera module and flatter bumps than before. But not only are the camera modules bigger this year, but the camera bump as a whole is a bigger footprint. I posted this picture over on Twitter and people were just livid with the size of the camera modules. I personally don't mind it, especially if this is what must be done to give us better cameras for both video and photos. If you aren't already doing so, shoot me a follow over on Twitter at RJ Tech. We have a lot of fun over on Twitter, so if tech is your thing, then I highly recommend you guys join the community. On the iPhone 13 Pro, we are expecting LiDAR sensors and sensor shift stabilization across all the iPhone 13 models, and most likely the iPhone 13 Pro will feature 6-element lenses, up from the 5-element lens on the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. This is supposed to bring improved features like better autofocus and improved sensor depth for AR. A new feature that I'm excited to test out as a content creator is cinematic video. Cinematic video is just like portrait mode, but for video. You can focus in on an object or person and get that nice blurred bokeh look in all of your videos. This is amazing for content creators because iPhones already dominate the smartphone industry when it comes to video. Apparently, you can also increase or decrease background blur in post, so really cool stuff. I'm just not sure if this feature will be kept specifically for the Pro variants or if this will trickle down to the regular iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 mini. I'm super excited for cinematic video because instead of having to carry around my beefy mirrorless camera, I can now get similar results from an iPhone. Especially when I want to shoot some B-roll but I forgot my main camera at home, this is the perfect replacement. Cinematic video is a very neat implementation, and if Apple can pull it off properly, it can have massive potential. For the most part, the button placements are pretty much the same this year. I did notice though, all of the buttons are slightly shifted lower this year in comparison, and this is fantastic for reachability if you do have smaller hands like myself. What's really interesting is that the SIM card slot is shifted upwards quite a bit this year. The SIM card slot is now integrated within the main board, and this was done intentionally to reduce the front optical module thickness to provide space for a larger battery. So a very subtle yet interesting design change that can result in better battery life. Over on the bottom, you can see that the speaker cutouts are a tad bit smaller this year, and we have 5 cutouts on the left and 3 on the right. These speaker grills have to be accurate because case manufacturers have already started manufacturing cases based on this dummy model. My assumption is that this may lead to a decline in speaker quality coming from the iPhone 13 Pro. I'm not entirely sure why Apple would do this, because for multiple years now they have been improving their speaker quality across all of their devices, including iPhones. I usually don't wear wireless earbuds when consuming content on an iPhone because their speaker quality is just that good. Whenever you're watching Netflix or YouTube, you can expect to get an immersive cinematic experience coming from an iPhone. It's always been one of Apple's strengths, so this is an interesting move that I can't wait to test out in my full review. For the longest time in 2021, we've heard rumors of a portless iPhone, an iPhone with no physical ports. The iPhone 13 models were supposed to go completely portless before Apple ever switched over to USB-C. But judging by this dummy model, it's definitely going to be another year of the dreaded Lightning port. At this point, I've pretty much accepted that we're never going to get USB-C on an iPhone. The thing is, for Apple to go completely portless, they have to improve MagSafe as a whole and provide us with better, more useful MagSafe accessories. Apple started doing this recently by releasing their MagSafe battery pack, but man, that thing was a total flop. It was thicker than the iPhone 12 and was super slow to charge. This year, the iPhone 13 variants are supposed to feature stronger MagSafe magnets. This could potentially be a strong indicator that the iPhone 14 will go completely portless if Apple feels like MagSafe tech is ready to take the leap. Unlike many consumers out there, I actually like MagSafe and I use it every chance I get. I feel like MagSafe has huge potential, and we've already seen Android manufacturers copying MagSafe tech on their flagship smartphones. Obviously, this is a dummy model, so there's no way of telling, but we are confirmed to be getting 120Hz ProMotion on the Pro variants of the iPhones this year. 120Hz is a complete game changer and is one of the key reasons why I would consider upgrading this year. Android flagships have had 120Hz for many years now, and scrolling through your phone just feels so much smoother. If you've never used 120Hz before, you will definitely feel the improvement in how smooth interactions are with your phone's display. 120Hz is a complete game changer and is finally coming to the iPhone in 2021. I'm super excited. My key concern with ProMotion is battery life. Since battery life on the iPhone 12 wasn't great, and now with ProMotion it could get a lot worse. But there is some hope. With the iPhone 13 Pro, we are expecting lowered power consumption and better efficiency with the new A15 Bionic chipset. This, in combination with the expected bigger batteries this year, could result in much better screen on times, but that still remains to be seen. So this year is an S upgrade in every sense of the term, meaning we aren't expecting too many physical changes on the iPhone 13. We are expected to get a better chipset, bigger batteries, ProMotion, larger camera sensors with better sensor shift stabilization, along with a few new colors. The question now becomes, is that worthy enough to upgrade? I think so. This is the upgrade we expected on the iPhone 12 but never got. Just that leap from 60Hz to 120Hz is enough for me to upgrade. Unfortunately, it looks like this year the iPhone 13 mini will not be getting flagship iPhone features, so I may have to settle for the 13 Pro as my daily driver. I will leave you guys with my iPhone 12 mini review. That video already has over 100k views, so definitely worth checking out. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for a lot more iPhone 13 content. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to flex with your tech.